Hi everyone, welcome to Life Tips by Ning. In today's video, I'm sharing case studies of young Earth born in the winter season. So let's dive into the first example. This Bazi is a young Earth daily master born in the month of November, which is this Yin Water type of earthly branch called Hai in Chinese. And the yearly pillar is a Yin Wood and Yin Wood. The monthly pillar is a Yin Fire and Yin Water. The daily pillar is a Yang Earth and Yang Earth. And the hourly pillar is a Yang Fire and Yang Earth. So the first step is let's assess the condition of this daily master. Am I strong or weak? So I'm looking for his friends, like either fire growing and supporting earth or another same as me, earth, to keep myself strong. So on the bottom row, you're sitting right underneath two earth. And then on the top row, there are two fires that are my neighbors. So this Bazi chart has quite a bit of strength. It's a good, strong Bazi chart. So in that case, it already met that prerequisite of balancing fire and water because the dominant environment is deep water in November, is cold and wet. So I'm very happy to see it has those strong fires showing up to give it warmth so this earth doesn't get froze over. It's a very good balancing environment. And the icing on the cake is I also have my natural friend, my preferred friend of wood, loosening up the soil so it doesn't become super solid and hard. If you have to nitpick, the only imperfection is the Yin Wood type versus Yang Wood. Yin Wood is less effective in loosening up the big ground in comparison to the root from a big tree, Yang Wood. But regardless, having wood is better than nothing. And the beauty of this Bazi is this Yin Water High and this Yin Wood Mao, they actually have a special half combination relationship. What I mean by that is they actually get entangled together, and some part of this water's energy got morphed into this wood's energy. So it actually make this my preferred wood element even stronger. So I'm stealing some of this water to make this wood qi stronger, which is super favorable because I want the wood to be even stronger to loosening up the soil. So this Bazi chart is really good. So how if it doesn't have a lot of problems and is fairly balanced to begin with, how do I analyze the favorable versus unfavorable element so I can pair it with this annual or 10-year trend to figure out is this a good time in my life or challenging time in my life? In this type of a good Bazi chart, the key analysis priorities to see how can I protect those elements that make me good. So your protection is about number one, this young fire. Please make sure this doesn't get damaged by those annual or 10-year trend. The moment this got weakened, it suddenly loses kind of the balancing environment, which is really bad. And another is if it comes with another like a wood type of annual or 10-year trend, even make this Yin Wood a little stronger and more useful, which is also a good time of this person's life. So this Bazi is about protecting the key player that makes me balanced and also strengthening this useful element. It probably does not want more type of metal or water type of element being introduced because water will suppress fire and weaken my preferred element. And the same thing, metal will cut wood, which will weaken the element I want. So that's how we analyze this example. The second one, this is an interesting one. So it's a young Earth daily master born in December, which is a young water type of earthly branch called Zi in Chinese. As you can see, right, it's a very unique one. The whole thing is dominated with water other than this daily master. So in that case, what do? I'm super weak. All of my energy is used to conquer water. And am I strong enough to do its job of controlling water versus the camp of water is so strong and powerful that it overcomes me. So that's kind of the delicate relationship for this example. This is actually a non-standard Bazi chart. It's the type that I don't even have a fighting chance to fight with this camp of water energy. So the best way for me to survive is to follow them. Um, this is a non-traditional type that the logic is different because your starting point is so lopsided, you have a harder chance of balancing your seesaw. So in that case, the number one goal for this puzzle is to keep the lopside that way so you don't anger the enemy because the enemy is too strong. So this puzzle chart actually likes more kind of metal and water type of element during the annual or 10-year trend because it's following this enemy's chi and keep it strong so I don't anger them. The moment this person experience more like a fire or a earth type of energy, it's actually like, oh, I have a little friend trying to help me. And the moment this strong power of water detects those fire or earth type of enemy, actually will anger this powerful water, which will squash the fire or hurt the earth friends. That translates into some challenging times in this person's life. So this is a unique type of Bazi chart. Probability is fairly low for somebody to run into this non-traditional type, but I figure, hey, it's actually beneficial to share so people know there's another like non-standard type in existence, and the logic of analyzing this is quite different from the traditional Bazi analysis. Last but not least is this young Earth born in January. January is the earthly branch of this Yin Earth type called Chou in Chinese. So the yearly pillar is Yin Water and Yin Wood. The monthly pillar is Yin Wood and Yin Earth. The daily pillar is Yang Earth and Yang Metal, and the hourly pillar is Yin Fire and Yin Earth. It's the same thing. Let's assess the condition of this guy, right? This guy is like, I'm so weak to the point I give up. I'm just gonna follow my enemies. This guy has a good support system. It's actually fairly strong. So what about this third example? So I have Earth, another Earth, which is all the wet, wintry type of Yin Earth type. Supporting me. And then I have another, oh, sorry, this should be water. Wrote this wrong thing here. So there's no fire anywhere to be found in this Bazi chart. So I only have like two very wet type of muddy earth underneath me. That's it. And the remaining of this Bazi is all like elements reducing my strength, right? I either have a lot of water here, which it takes my energy to suppress water. I have a bunch of metal, which earth produce metal, so it still reduce my energy. And wood suppresses earth. So this is a fairly kind of little leaning toward the weaker side, but because position number 6 has more weight, so I would say it's not to the point of super weak. And what does this Bazi chart like? The number one problem of this Bazi chart is it's way too cold and damp. It's really desiring fire, especially young fire, to balance the environment. This one has a risk of like this winter muddy earth. It's too wet and cold and almost froze over. It doesn't have this warmth to balance itself. So unfortunately, this one doesn't have fire showing up anywhere. So the only choice it has is to wait for this annual 10-year trend in your chart to introduce a fire element. So this person probably will feel like a little more balanced and smoother condition in the life. And another problem with this type of lopsided out of balance chart is if you're lacking this yang's qi of fire, it actually might show up in a health problem. For example, you might have like too much of this cold and wet for like the kidney system or the um, female reproductive system, and it's lacking this fire to keep it in balance. So it might show up as some sort of a medical condition. So that's another risk of this Bazi chart. It's unfortunate it doesn't have fire showing up in itself. So I'm just more reliant on the external environment to introduce my medicine. But the problem with that is the external environment just goes with time. This whole Bazi thing is a Chinese calendar. It takes turns. There's not possible. You always constantly have a fire type of year or 10-year trend. It takes turns. So eventually when you run into that water or metal type of cold element, it actually makes the situation worse. So that's why this puzzle is not as good, because it doesn't have preferred element showing up in the original chart. Thank you for watching today. And if you guys have any questions, I'm more than willing to have an interactive experience in the comments. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.